Everyone loves a good picnic. Hey, Chef Corso, Outdoor Eats. I'm a classically trained chef turned outdoor cooking expert, and this is Picnic Parks. I'm in Tucson, Arizona, and what we're doing in this series is we are highlighting 4 parks here in the Tucson area and finding some great local flavors and fantastic local bites to be able to pair with our picnic experience. So those bites could be multiple things. They could be a restaurant, they could be a cafe, they could be a market, a farmer's market, a local food artisan, or a recipe. So you, me, and the Tucson area are going to explore this fantastic spot. And since this is the Outdoor Eats channel, I'm going to be cooking up a recipe in the last park inspired by the food and the bites and the flavors that I find along the way. Quick intro on Tucson. It is south of Phoenix by about 2 hours with direct flights into the international airport. The city is mostly flat, nestled in between multiple mountain ranges. Those mountain ranges are the Santa Catalinas to the north, the Tortolitas to the northwest, the Tucsons to the south, the Rincones to the east, and the Santa Ritas to the south. And all of these provide a nice backdrop wherever you are in the city. Tucson is also home to Saguaro National Park, and Saguaro is a little bit different because it's actually in 2 parts of the city. So you have the west and the east. Both are very approachable, so beautiful drives and beautiful things to see in there, but it's not just one complex. It's also home to University of Arizona, which has a nice campus just off of downtown and a fun and funky downtown core. While the national park is worth visiting, there is so much more to explore. Fun fact about Tucson, it's one of only 2 UNESCO City of Gastronomy sites in the United States. What that means is that they have been officially recognized for celebrating traditional flavors and foods, whether that's local farming, artisan food production, restaurants, caterers, and more. So all of them together are truly celebrating local foods and flavors, and I love that. And what I've done with the map here is thinking about efficiency. So one thing that I don't like doing is finding a bite and then having to drive all the way across the city to be able to explore. So I've done my best to think about it efficiently. So if you are in the north, there's some grocery stores or some bites that you can look for when you're in that region. But specifically, there are 4 Trader Joe's, 3 Whole Foods, 3 natural grocers, 1 special one, AJ's Fine Foods, and plenty of Walmart's, regular grocery stores, depending on the brand that you like, plus a very robust schedule of farmers markets. The first park on our list is Kennedy Park, and this is just south of downtown. A super awesome option, lots of parking. They've got a fishing lake here, easy walkable trails, and a whole bunch of these ramadas that you can rent or just come on and use them. And so what I am pairing with this park is a local staple that you have to try when you're coming to Tucson. If you've never had it before, it is super great, and that is the Sonoran hot dog. So, and all this great stuff is from BK's Carne Asada and hot dogs, because that's what they do great here. So we have a classic Sonoran hot dog, we have some carne asada on an open-faced taco or a tostada with some cheese, and then why I specifically chose BK's, because there are a lot of great Sonoran hot dog places around, and I'll put some more in the show notes below, is these things. This is a torito, I think that's the right name. And so this is a pepper wrapped in bacon, and inside is stuffed with ham and cheese and in sort of some sort of amazing sauce. I don't know what that is, but that smells amazing. So we're gonna try that. But first, we are gonna try our Sonoran hot dog here. And if you haven't had a Sonoran hot dog, it is a classic hot dog wrapped in bacon, loving bacon down here, with some beans and some salsa and a little bit of pico on top and a little crema or some mayo. And let's get in there. Mm-hmm. Yep, that is nice. Classic. Nothing super fancy about this. I love having the extra flavor on top, and and the onions and the tomatoes. Here's the park. People are having a good time. Another bite. Yep, that's really good. All right, let's try their carne asada. It's a great sign of a Mexican place that specializes in carne asada when it smells like grilled beef outside, and it totally smells like grilled beef outside of BK's. Little verde salsa. Also have a fantastic salsa bar, something I look for as well. All right, let's get in here. Oh man, this is gonna be drippy, I can tell. Yep. Nothing fancy here. Just good grilled Maillard. Good flavor. Nice melted cheese. Crispy tortilla. Fantastic. I'm gonna finish that in a second. Okay. Torritos. This is like a jalapeno-ish popper kind of thing. Or I've had a Texas Twinkie before, and in Texas, those are pretty good variations. So this sauce, it's really dark. It's almost like soy sauce. Whoa, no, it's not. It is very limey and some other salsa in there. Wow, that's super interesting. Oh yeah, come on. So it's not a jalapeno, not very spicy. It's actually a pepper like this, kind of a blonde yellow, which are everywhere down here, griddled. Yeah, very mild. So if you don't like spicy food, hey, come on back. If you don't like spicy food, this is completely okay. And creamy cheese, a little ham in there, dunk in that mystery dark acidic sauce. Pretty solid. I want some more spice. Awesome stuff. Another reason why I chose BK's, it's about 10 minutes from this park. So really easy to pick up a whole spread for just yourself or the whole family. Bring it on over. Have a nice taco Southwest picnic here in the park. While I'm finishing up my bites here, here are some more details on this park. Man, should have kept scouting. Look at this. I was really hungry for a Sonoran hot dog, but this is the one you want. This is number 8. Ramada number 8, a whole bunch of parking on the other side of the camera. This is awesome. Look at this. This is where you want to have a picnic. Come on. Whole walking path around the whole thing. Nice little place for a jog or a stroll, evening or morning. Yeah. Writing that down. Number 8. Sonoran hot dogs and number 8. Yes. Our next park is Sabino Canyon, which is on the north side of the city. And it's actually a national recreation area. So not necessarily a park, but definitely a lot to explore. And this park is amazing. I mean, if you like saguaros, this has just as many saguaros or more than the national park. And it's so accessible from wherever you're staying in the city. And what I'm pairing with this is a classic charcuterie board. And charcuterie is a fantastic way to elevate your day hike, elevate your lunches. And it is a little bit of a fancy word, but if you just want to call it meat, cheese, bread or meat, cheese, crackers,
totally fine. And meat cheese bread has fueled so many of my day hikes, of my road trips, of my adventures. It's so good, so versatile, and really easy to put together. I mentioned that there are a lot of grocery stores here. I mean, there's plenty of people living here. They all got to eat. But there's one specifically that I've never been to, and that is AJ's Fine Foods. It's a mini chain down here. Wanted to check it out. So went in there this morning and picked up some options for provisioning. And when I am looking to build a charcuterie board, it is usually 2, 2, and 2, or 2, 2, and 1, plus a little bit of a wild card, depending on what you're doing. So that's 2 meats, 2 cheeses, 2 breads or crackers, or 1 bread or cracker, depending on what you get, and then something a little bit different, maybe something that's local, maybe a seasonal fruit. And what I got here that's a little bit special is monsoon chocolate, and this is one of those UNESCO gastronomic companies. So definitely want to check that out and wanted to support them. But it's great to be able to mix and match. Other thing is this park does have picnic areas. You can obviously have your charcuterie or meat cheese bread in the parking lot. What I like to do is I like to put it in my backpack and get hiking and find the special spot to be able to prep it and enjoy it. This is a wash, so be careful in the rainy season because this is all underwater, but it is dry, it is May. I checked the weather. No issues there, but make sure to check that if you are doing this in the rainy season. And I highly recommend coming here in the rainy season too, because this is completely changed and there's some waterfalls up the way here. So I've got 2 salamis, a little aged cheddar and some Gouda, hard salami, a little cracker. I can live off meat cheese bread for many, many days. Wow. That's hitting the spot right now. Another tip I can give you guys when you are traveling, because if you're making a deli sandwich spread or charcuterie spread like this, is sometimes you want some condiments, maybe mustard, maybe some jam, some mayo. So what I suggest is weaseling some ingredients. So at the grocery store today, there were some mayo packets and mustard packets, but I always travel with my weasel bag. So that has soy sauce, hot sauce from the taco shop, oil packets, sugar, jam, honey, all kinds of things that I put it right in a tote, and that goes with me just about everywhere so that I don't have to buy a huge jar of jam or mayo or mustard when I'm trying to make up my lunch. Why I call these weasel ingredients is because you don't necessarily buy them. You also don't necessarily steal them. They are available for us. So you just kind of weasel them as you're traveling around the country. And great spots is coffee shops, diners, grocery stores, taco shops, all kinds of things, but it was a gift that just keeps on giving. So what I say though is you can be a weasel, but don't be a jerk. Don't take the whole thing. Just take a couple, leave some for the next person so they can be a weasel too. It's so helpful as I'm traveling around and just making things for myself or just a few people. A little bit more about this park. There is a actual visitor center here and a nice big parking lot, nice safe parking lot. There is a fee to be able to park here. So it's about $10 right now, but if you do have a national park pass or a national recreation pass, that can get you in, or a regional park pass that can get you in with no extra charge. This park is loaded. It has like over a dozen different trails. If you want to stay here all day, you can and really get up into the bluffs and into the peaks, or if you just want to come for a couple hours and have some nice flat accessible hiking to see something outside of the city. So very good option. If you are hiking in the sunny time or in the summertime, highly recommend you get up early to beat the heat and beat the crowds, or also hike a little bit later on in the evening, get some nice light too, so you aren't in the middle of the sun and in the middle of the park in the middle of the day and just get blown out. So always make sure you have your water and have a map, because this can get very confusing as you're traveling around. But there's so much more about this park, and there's some links above and links below to be able to dig into this park, because there's so much to talk about. It'd be a whole video. Other thing about this park is there is a shuttle that goes from the visitor center. So if you want to go up into the park and bypass some miles, see some other things, there is an extra charge for that, but check that out in the details. But that can be a very nice thing in order to see a little bit more and not have to go for miles and miles and miles. And one thing I didn't get for my charcuterie board, which I'm definitely looking out for, is check out this bread. This is another fantastic local artisan that is one of the UNESCO gastronomy products, and they're using a specific Sonoran white wheat doing some very, very great artisan breads. And check them out as well if you want to make a great charcuterie board or great deli sandwich spread. And if you don't want to slice up meat and cheeses on a rock, you can easily pick up a deli sandwich, pack that in at any of the grocery stores around, or check out this place. This is Bondicted. So in some food research that I had, there's a bunch of great tacos and Sonoran hot dogs and all kinds of great Mexican fare. But if you want a little bit of a change up, check out Bondicted, because look at these sandwiches. Fantastic bread, good crunch on the veggies, beautiful fillings, and super, super tasty sauces to wrap it all together. And that is what you want from a banh mi. Yes. And if you have extra, no worries. You can just pack this up and have it for happy hour tomorrow. One final thing, always, always pack out your trash. So all of these cheese packages, all of these condiment packets, pack them out. Do not leave them right here. Wow, this is a score. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 7, maybe 8 picnic tables in this overland picnic park. It's a park within the park. I think you can drive here. There's a paved road. If not, it is a short walk from the visitor center, like really short, through a couple of saguaros. But this is a awesome, awesome picnic park. And look at those views. Starting off my quest for my next park here at Ren Coffee. Get a little coffee for my big day ahead with my last couple parks. Beautiful patio situation here on the kind of the northern part of the city. And they do have some fantastic pastries, a bake shop next door, some sandwiches, and some other things. But I am holding off because where I'm going after this is I'm going to the farmer's market. So it's Sunday morning, going to the Big Daddy Farmer's Market, and there's always something interesting at the farmer's market, from like a pastry lady. Maybe there's some tamales there that I can check out for my bite at my park. And I don't really know, but that's kind of part of the fun, is going to the farmer's market. You know, I don't go to farmer's markets in every city that I go to, but if there is an opportunity, I love to check them out just to see what's there for local artisans and foods and produce and things. It is May, so there should be something available. Also, what I am looking for is something for my recipe later on today. So both going to get something for my bite this morning and something for my recipe later on. More information about the Tucson farmers markets at the link above. And a great part about being down south here is that farmers markets can go for more months. So instead of closing in September or October, they can go for longer. I'm here in May, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they have as far as local produce and local products and things like that. But there are a lot. So it doesn't matter what day or mostly time of year that you're visiting, you should be able to find one that is close to you. They're also all over the city, not just this one that I'm going to today, but more info at the link above. Well, as I was looking at the map, researching where the farmer's market was, I noticed that it's only about a mile away from Ren Coffee, and it is connected with this Rito River Trail. So a bunch of people are biking, they're walking, they're exercising this morning. Super, super nice. So bonus park, bonus trail here. Can't make this stuff up. You just got to get here and see it and find those special little spots. And other thing I was noticing too, as I was finishing my coffee, is that complex where I was in at Ren also has, you know, wine bar, whole bunch of different restaurants and nice courtyards and things. So definitely worth exploring on another trip. Also, one of the Trader Joe's is across the street. That is important to you. And also noticing for parking is I just left my car there at the coffee shop. And there's also some other community Park parking. So that is available. It's free, easy to leave, and safe. So, I mean, a lot of people are just like leaving their bikes and then going for a ride and then like coming on back. But this is a part of a larger path, larger trail, but super bonus. And farmers market's just right over there. So let's see what they've got. Picnics don't just have to be for the afternoon. You can have a breakfast picnic. That is a fantastic idea. So I just traveled south from the farmer's market about 15 minutes. If you're staying in the center part of Tucson, this is very, very close, but this is Gene C. Reid Park. And I've never been here before, but this park is fantastic. There are multiple man-made little lakes. There's some fountains. There's some man-made little creeks. So many benches and picnic areas, both with the picnic tables covered and uncovered, and more of those ramadas that they have available here. Lots of great parking. There's a dog park. There is a rose garden. There's an amphitheater. There's jungle gyms. It's quite a big park. There's also some play fields as well. So if you need that, so there is a lot going on here. And you know, the other thing about picnics is you don't have to have a picnic table to have a picnic. You can just have a bench or set up under a tree somewhere. Doesn't matter where you picnic, as long as you picnic. So farmers market was fantastic. A lot of great options. It was a good size, but not overwhelming. And I picked up some good things to put together for our breakfast picnic bite spread. And when I go to a farmer's market, I have a strategy. First step is bring cash. Go to the ATM, get at least 40 bucks, because artisans would much prefer cash than going card, and sometimes it's all they're accepting anyway. So one, get some cash. Two is I do a full lap, mainly because I don't want to get excited by the first stall and blow my whole budget on a whole bunch of pastries or a whole bunch of eggs or produce or whatever. So I take it slow. I do one full lap around the whole thing, kind of see what's available. It's a very good strategy, so you can see if there's a better price available or a different variety of a tomato or lettuce or something that you're looking for. So do a lap, make a plan, and then go back to those stalls and pick the things up. So what I picked up for my breakfast here this morning is 4 things. And I wanted to buy more, but I only have one belly to eat this morning. So I picked up a breakfast burrito, grilled breakfast burrito from this place. This happens to be a vegetarian one, but they have meat options as well. Cheese and poblano pepper, some beautiful fire roasted salsa. Give that a try. I am a sucker for a breakfast burrito. Even a little lukewarm. That is really good. Okay, that is a winner. Love that. Next, I did find a tamale lady, which makes me very happy. So this is a red chili beef tamale. Also have some veggie options, roasted corn, other kind of things. Nice and moist. Very good flavor, not too spicy. Man, a tamale and a poached egg, scrambled eggs, and a little piece of fruit is one of the best breakfasts that you're not eating. And then there were a lot of pastries, a lot of muffins, cinnamon rolls, those kind of things. I wanted to get something a little bit different. And that's part of going to a different farmer's market and exploring, is getting something maybe that you haven't had before. So this is from Carnick's Bakery, never heard of that, and local bakery here. And this happens to be a Norwegian cinnamon roll called a cannelboller. Cannelboller. Not quite sure how to pronounce that, but special thing here. And it is a soft but dense bread, kind of like a light brioche, braided with some cinnamon and some sugar. Let's try that out. Nice. Not too sweet, not too bready. This would be good dunked in the coffee I had earlier, honestly. So keep that in mind if you want to get this. But it's a nice option. And then for a little fruit, we've got fresh grapefruit. And wow, is it juicy. Oh yeah, that's nice. I like that. And guys, you might be wondering with this spork, do I always travel with a metal spork? Yeah, pretty much. Not a huge fan of plastic. Just throw this right in my backpack, go through security, and that way I always have a utensil to be able to eat with, because sometimes they don't give them to you when you're going to some of these places. So pack your own cutlery, preferably one that's recyclable or eco or something, so you don't have to just keep eating off of plastic. Well, I'm gonna finish up my breakfast picnic by this gorgeous little River Creek waterfall and go for a walk around this park this morning. But here's some more information about this park.
And one of the entrances to this park is on South Picnic Place Road. It is literally calling for you to have a picnic here.
And here we are at our last picnic park. I don't know about you, but I've had a great time exploring the Tucson area. So looking at our map, we are out west. So about 30 minutes outside of town is this whole complex. So you have the Saguaro National Park West, you have the Sonoran Desert Museum, you have some hiking trails and some national forest, and there's so much to do over here. So I highly recommend just getting the kids, get a whole bunch of snacks and picnic stuff, and just head out west for the day, explore all over here with no timetable, and eventually get some tacos back in Tucson when you're done with all this. So I highly recommend you stop at the Sonoran Desert Museum. So it's kind of a misnomer because it's a museum, yes, but there's so much more. So I wrote it down because there's a lot. So it's an absolutely fantastic botanical garden. There's a zoo. There's a mini aquarium. There's an art gallery. There's natural history. There's an aviary if you like birds. There's also a hummingbird aviary hutch kind of thing. There's a tortoise, and there's some stingrays you can pet, because of course you need some stingrays in the middle of the desert. So there's something for everybody at the Sonoran Desert Museum. Highly, highly recommend it. And it's connected and butts up right next to Saguaro National Park. this area is loaded with picnic area. So you can't specifically picnic within the botanical garden. There are a couple tables outside, I have a couple benches, but just in this area, there's a couple that you can hike to. There's a couple that are just right off the road. And where I'm at is Brown Mountain Picnic Area, like 5 minutes from the museum, about 10 minutes from 15 minutes from Saguaro, few minutes from Tucson. Super beautiful covered structure here. And don't worry about that yellow thing in the entry. That's a grill, and they cover it up for the season for fire protection. So don't worry about that. And if you're here at another time of year, you can grill up some Sonoran hot dogs or some steak or whatever. I highly recommend checking out this area. And if you are lucky to be here in the springtime for the desert bloom, it is a very special thing. So the cacti bloom from February all the way up to right now. There's just a couple blossoms left for some of the cacti. So if you like agaves, if you like cacti, if you like succulents, it is a great spot for you and definitely worth checking out because they light up with some pinks and purples and whites that are just absolutely beautiful. Saguaros are blooming right now. Never seen that before. That's super cool. So what is this mystery recipe that I'm going to whip up for you guys that will wrap up our time here in Tucson? Well, I picked up a couple things at the farmer's market, and we are going to make a Southwestern grain bowl or a Southwestern wrap. And I love making grain bowls because they can be a no burner, no cook recipe, which is fantastic for picnics. I like taking my burner along for picnics, but not every single time. So we are going to make a Southwestern grain bowl, Southwestern wrap. It's super delicious, super easy, super customizable. And let's take a look at our ingredients for our recipe. First things first, I've been driving around all day. Quick little hand sanitizer for prepping up. All right, love that. All right, for our grain bowl, star of the show is a pre-cooked bag of grain. So we have a nice medley here of some quinoa and some brown rice. Awesome. You can use whatever grain that you like. Also have a can of beans. Also, quick note on beans. If you don't have a can opener and you're traveling, you need to look for one that has a top popper. If not, you're going to have a bad time. Okay, and what I picked up from the farmer's market, fresh roasted everything. So we have chilies, we have tomatillos, we have tomatoes. I am a sucker for this kind of stuff because it's fresh, it smells amazing. So we're going to use that in our grain bowl. Other thing I picked up from the farmer's market is some local tortillas. Super, super awesome there. Fresh tortillas are always best. And then we need a little bit of corn. So we are getting into corn season. So I have a whole ear of corn here that we're going to chop up. And if you are out of season, you can use some corn nuts or you can use a can of corn. Maybe some frozen corn that you thawed out. So I like having all of those flavors and textures in there. Super quick and easy. Then we're going to add some avocado, a little bit of lime, and probably going to need a little bit of salt, but we're going to check that out. And so to prep this all up, I don't necessarily have a bowl with me or a pot or anything like that. So I'm just going to mix everything up in a Ziploc bag. Super easy packing, and it'll mix up in there really, really nicely. So for the first step for our grain bowl, I'm actually going to put these ingredients into our bag here first and mash them up just by hand. If you don't have this special thing from the farmer's market, you can use any of your favorite salsa or hot sauce, but I love having kind of this special thing that I don't get all the time. If you're just using salsa, I would start with your grain mix, build up your beans, your veggies, your salsa, mix it all together, and you've got it ready. So let's get this thing mixed up. Yes, man, those are smelling great. Don't need that whole bag for my batch. Set that up. And just smash it up. It's a great thing you can do with your kids too. Give them a job. Hey, kiddo, get over here. Smash the salsa. I need you. I need you bad. Yes. Love this kind of stuff. It's a word we call rustic. Doesn't have to be perfect, not perfect dices, anything like that. We're just getting it all in there, just getting it all mashed in the Arizona sunshine. Great. Yeah, we're going pretty rustic. I'm good with that today. And tip when you are slicing corn off the cob, don't do this. It's unstable, not safe. So you do one cut, flip it over so you have a nice flat surface. Get close to the cob, turn it over. Makes getting the kernels off the cob so much easier and so much safer. First corn of the year. Oh man, so sweet. Oh yeah, get in there. Get in there, come on. You know, we already have some corn in there from the bean can. We have some fresh corn, but yeah, let's go trace corn, trace maize here today. And I think having a little bit of crunch and texture from the corn nuts are gonna be pretty nice. And I'm just thinking about salt. We're gonna check salt because those corn nuts have quite a bit on it already. Nice fresh squeeze of lime. Yes, smelling great. Everything in the bag, and we're gonna come back to our avocado for some garnish. But wow, look at all that. I mean, that can feed 3 to 4 people, like no problem. What I love about this recipe too is it's very economical. So a can of beans is about $1. The grain bowl pack is maybe $2 to $3. Ear corn, can of corn, another $1 or $2. Want to throw some cheese on there, a little bit of salsa. For like $5 or $10, you have some very hearty portions and a whole lot of flavor. Wow, look at that. Let's mix it up, baby. Man, I've been walking around in the sun for the last couple of days. Got to cover up the old head here. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is going to be good. Yeah, fresh lime juice. Good flavor from those roasted veggies. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So it's very important to let your grain bowl marinate. So I highly recommend, if you have the opportunity, to make it in the morning and then just put it in the cooler, let it marinate, or at least let it sit for 10, 15, 20 minutes. 30 minutes is going to be fantastic. Next day, amazing. Also really good for leftovers too. So, but let it marinate because there's a whole lot of great flavor in here that needs to come together. All right, marinated for a few minutes. Take a look at what we got here. Really important to taste your food. See if it needs a little more acid, a little more spice, a little more salt. Okay. I hear that crunch from the corn nuts. Does need a little bit of salt, and that is completely okay. And I like a little bit more lime. Here we go, guys. This is good as is. I love adding a little bit of avocado on top. But you might notice this is 100% vegan. You would never ever know it. But if you want to add some queso, some cheese, please do that. You can add some leftover pulled chicken. You could add some chorizo. You could add some fajita meat, some other fajita veggies, some fresh bell peppers, whatever you want to do in the southwestern realm to add to your grain bowl, you can do that. Wow. What's amazing, there's so much flavor that happens in just such a short amount of time, and it's such a satisfying, healthy, tasty dish. Yep. Man, again, having these fresh roasted veggies is such a treat. Because where I'm from, we can't grow peppers like that. So we've got the base model here, super tasty, again, very customizable for however you like it. So how do you make it into a wrap? Well, this turns into a filling and then you put it in the tortilla and then you wrap it up. But I've got a tip for you that will make this whole thing amazing and elevate it. Right, we've got our grain bowl filling, we have our fresh local tortillas. I can't wait to try these. And we have a burner. So I am on the Vagabond tour, so I am traveling around with a burner. If you don't have one, then this is, again, going to be completely okay, but a lot of you guys are campers or RVers, or you're going out in your truck or something. Highly, highly recommend that you toast your tortillas, because these have been in a package all day. They want to get woken up, and toast is not bread. Bread is not toast, and these few seconds are so valuable to warm up the tortilla, give it a little bit of toast, a little bit of extra flavor. And yes, that is what we're looking for, folks. Give me that toasted tortilla, baby. So you can do this right over the burner, or if you have a cast iron skillet, that could be fine too. Or any sort of skillet, frankly. But we're looking for just a quick little toast. Keep those fingers moving. Maybe don't have the kids help out with this specific part, but very, very quick. And yes, that little bit of toast is so, so important. Also makes the tortillas a little bit more pliable as well. Oh yeah. Oh man, I wish you guys could smell this. And you might be thinking this isn't worth it, but I disagree with you 100%. This is absolutely worth your time setting up the stove and giving yourself a few minutes just to toast this up, because look at that. That is fantastic. And look at that, we did it. Oh yeah, that looks so good. And then we just put, oh yeah, all that in there. That looks like a wonderful, wonderful filling for our grain bowl wrap, burrito situation, taco, whatever you want to call it, but it is really good. Yes. That toasted tortilla is so, so good, that local toasted tortilla. So reaching the end of our Tucson Picnic Park installment, and it's time for the Hidden Gem Award. So I've never given this out before because it's the first episode. But what place over the last couple days was just extra special and something that I wasn't expecting to find? So the Hidden Gem Award goes to the Overlook Picnic Area in the Sabino Canyon. I called it Overland earlier, but the Overlook Picnic Park, and I think it was the coolest, most surprising location, and I think a lot of you guys that even live here don't even know it's there, and mainly because it's just like walk past it on the path. But so cool, and I just want to have like a whole bunch of people there with like grilling stuff or like a campy hour or whatever as the sun is going down. Super awesome. So in Sabino Canyon, definitely hit that up. But the Overlook Picnic Park gets the Hidden Gem Award for Tucson. Fantastic. Congratulations. I'm sure the park is really jacked about that. Well, thanks for coming along for the first installment of Picnic Parks. Let me know what you think. What other information would you like me to provide for future cities? Do you want to see more food? Do you want to see more parks? What do you want to see more of? Do you want to see less Corso and cowboy hats? I don't know. Let me know. But thanks for following along. But it's all about getting outside, finding those local flavors, and creating or having some great bites and some great meals to be able to complement the whole experience. But get outside, eat well, share this whole experience with your family and your friends, because that's what we're doing. And check out outdooreats.com for a whole bunch more. We have over 300 trail-tested recipes that are just ready for you for your road trips and your picnics. And check out the pocket-sized cookbooks, the knives, the sporks, all kinds of stuff at outdooreats.com. Cheers. Get out there. Boca boca.